Hi everybody, Laura here for Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a colorful, very clean, simple, stripped up rainbow heart themed project to share with you. I'm going to be using a couple products from the latest Dear Friend release. I was inspired by this striped heart in this Extra Proud stamp set. I thought I was going to use that image, but I actually ended up just using the heart die that coordinates. So I do use the Extra Proud heart die. You could use any heart die that you have. And then this is the Modern Postage stamp and stencil set. And I'm just going to use that largest kind of postage edged rectangle. I'm going to use that to create kind of a decorative panel. Okay, so I'm going to start with just a white panel of cardstock. And then I have this pack of assorted card fronts. Simon Says Stamp sells these, and you get all the rainbow colors, and they're just kind of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch sheets. You get 31 colors of solid color cardstock. And what I'm doing here is just getting kind of the feel. Everybody always wants to know, how do you come up with your color combinations, Laura? Well, this is what it looks like in a nutshell. I lay colors out, I take some out, put some in until I like the combination, and then I'm going to cut some strips. And that's about as scientific as it gets. Okay, so I know this one is called Peacock Teal, I believe, but I'm not going to remember the names of all these colors. They just come in a pack of 31, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch. It's a great sampler platter. You ever get a sampler platter at a restaurant? Those are always a treat. You know, usually you get the nachos, maybe some mozzarella sticks, potato skins. I don't know, but I'll take it. And I love a sampler pack of cardstock too. I always keep this type of like card front sampler pack right off to the right of my workstation because I grab it all the time for little die cuts. And here I'm doing one of the things I love to do, which is strip it up. I love to strip it up. We're going to create little rainbow strips. Because again, I was inspired by that stripe heart in the Extra Proud stamp set, but I want to kind of create my own striped heart, so to speak. You'll see how it comes together. Last one here, cotton candy. So again, I'll have all the products that I use to create this card linked in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. So I laid the strips. I didn't want the width of the strips to be taller or wider than the rainbow. So I had to take a couple colors out to make a little room. Now I'm using a little tape runner on an angle. Sometimes I like to do things on an angle. It makes me feel like I'm staying hip and trendy. But you could do it straight across. You could do it vertical. You really can't go wrong when you're stripping it up. If you know what I'm saying, you can't go wrong. But okay, so we got cotton candy, dull pink. Not going to remember the names of all these colors. Comes in a sampler pack. Can't remember why I walked in the room half the time. I don't know if any moms are like this in the summer when everyone's home all day. We got all 5 home now. The old memory bank gets a little weak. And here's what I did now, because 3 of my oldest are getting to be young adult ages now. So I thought, hey, everybody needs to pitch in. So what if I make a schedule and people take turns? Like one day somebody do lunch, one day somebody do dishes, or take a turn straightening up the living room. You should see our living room by the end of the night. If we all end up in the living room watching TV or a hockey game, it looks like a raging bull ran through. The blankets, the cushions, the pillows, they're everywhere. And I need some. Okay, back to the card. I take that largest postage rectangle and the heart die from Extra Proud, and I'm kind of lining it up on this panel. I turned it a little bit to make my angle not quite so angular. Kind of changed my mind on that, but that's the nice thing about die cutting it. You got that ability to switch it around. So I take that off camera, run it through my die cutting machine, and now you have your panel with that beautiful postage edge, and you've got your heart, your stripped up heart coming right out. It's got a little bit of white space on the top and the bottom, but you got that rainbow goodness coming right through the middle section. And okay, so I'm going to adhere this onto a white card base. I've been using these lately. They've been around for a while, but I had a couple packs that I didn't know I had because I cleaned. And these are so handy to have. I don't know why I don't do this more. But it's one of those top fold A2 size cards. You can buy a pack of them at Simon Says Stamp. Just a white, sturdy card base, popping up my panel, white on white, clean, mean, dancing machine. And then I tripled up the foam tape on this one. It's got 3 layers. Could that be excessive? Possibly. But I wanted to give that lift so you see a bit of shadow, and that's the drama. Okay? Now, for a sentiment, I'm using one of these reverse sister sentiment strips. I like this "Thanks for Being You." And I'm going to cut this out using that mini guillotine trimmer. Okay, so back to the family schedule. Everybody was on board. For the most part, they shook their head at me, and I felt like they were on board. Take turns making a meal, cleaning up, all that. Here's the thing. You can think of a plan. You can think of a great plan, and you can make that plan, and you can print it out. But somebody needs to execute it and police it. And that's where we just fall right through the toilet. And I'll admit it. I'm not a good delegator, and I'm not. But I will say my oldest son, Bo, he's been kicking in with the meals. And Dad has stepped it up. Dad gets a round of applause for stepping it up today. He's been helping me clean. Last night, Emma did the dishes. So you know what? I'll take what I can get. You know what I have to say to Emma? Emma, thanks for being you. And thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Nothing better than a clean, simple, rainbow stripped up heart with a little dewdrops and a heartfelt message. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.